Eloquence. What is it? How to have it, work on it. Eloquence designates the art of expressing oneself with ease, of persuading and convincing through speech. How to have it in your professional and personal life. Work it? Definition. What is eloquence? Eloquence is the art of expressing oneself with ease, of moving and convincing. It is about the ability to become one with what is said. Orators who have eloquence also know how to put silences in the right place, at the right time. It is therefore also the ability to create rhythm, vocal variations to give an emotional dimension to the speech, explains Joran Farnier, practitioner in hypnosis. Eloquence makes it possible to become strategic, to include the other, to radiate while allowing to set a clear and stimulating intention for the audience. If you feel like you've never been comfortable doing this kind of exercise, don't worry. According to the hypnotist, you don't need to be a virtuoso to practice it. Ease, oral and eloquence are qualities that can be learned. As psychologist Joran Farnier reminds us, remember your first hours of driving for the license. We weren't comfortable at all, but over time we got to a smooth, automatic ride. Developing your eloquence requires going through this stage of risk-taking in which nothing seems easy. To think that this is innate could therefore be limiting. What is the difference with charisma and rhetoric? Charisma is linked to seduction, a mix between inner relaxation and relational commitment. Those who have charisma have this particular aura, which is due to congruence, that is to say coherence between gestures, voice and the meaning of words. And above all, they know how to share it. They have this gift of knowing how to create a vibration that fills the space. Charismatic speakers have this assurance that it passes. They have the ability to dialogue and give space to their audience. We forget the time of the watch with them, explains Joran Farnier. Nevertheless, we do not have charisma alone. It depends on others. For its part, the rhetoric is the set of means that aim to convince the audience. We use rhetorical means constantly without realizing it. When we want to convince that our choice of restaurant is the right one, for example, explains the practitioner. If the two notions merge, one is linked to the content and the other to the relationship. Sign up for an acting class or voice your opinion in conversations. How to have eloquence in your personal life. Having eloquence is cultivated, including in his personal life. To develop it, Joran Farnier has a proven two-step method. The first step is to take action by seizing an opportunity each week to speak in public. Sign up for an acting class or give your opinion in conversations, advises the psychologist. At the end of the year, it should become as comfortable as having a coffee in the morning in a bathrobe at home, promises the specialist. In addition to changing our comfort zone, this allows us to put any situations we may have apprehended into perspective. We thus realize that our disaster scenarios often only take place in our imagination. Secondly, the psychologist recommends implementing the principles to make communication more impactful by observing speakers, colleagues, lecturers or popular YouTubers. Rather than comparing yourself, learn to extract the principles of impactful communication from their speeches, advises Joran Farnier. Same story for Joran Farnier. Eloquence is practiced on a daily basis, whether by exchanging with a seller at the bakery or by asking his partner to tell his story. Relational quality depends on this simple art of spoken, clear, given, readable speech, and everyday eloquence, which nevertheless conditions our lives, explains the hypnosis practitioner. According to him, everyday eloquence is knowing how to articulate words well, choose them, but also learn to listen and read the reactions of the other. This requires having a fine listening to others. To be heard, recognized and considered, it is therefore necessary to be sufficiently eloquent in listening to others. It is only on this condition that we are legitimate to assert ourselves with the other details Joran Farnier who recommends, while organizing his speech, observing the reactions of relatives. Comfort zone. Definition. How to get out of it. It is often reassuring to stay in your comfort zone. This psychological state in which we feel comfortable rhymes with control and a mastery of stress and anxiety. What is the point of getting out of this zone and how to do it? The explanations of Chloe Turgees, sophrologist and hypnotherapist. How to have eloquence at work. In a professional situation, seducing your audience can also be a challenge. 2. Get your message across. It is important to structure your ideas, identify the topics covered and hone them in advance. Eloquence at work goes through what I call the contract of engagement, which precedes any intervention, by preparing your interlocutors, by reassuring them, explains Joran Farnier. I recommend practicing pitching at home by giving yourself a time